has an awesome internet connection. And then Mr. Tuttle, lower right, is going to be. He's also a co-founder, and I'm trying to crop in the check that he won as a part of the Star Street when he won 40K.
Do I need to sit up higher?
No, it's all right. I want though, Nap. You were on last week. You were pretty heated about the whole $2 bill thing, and the next night you won a huge tournament
I wasn't heated. It was just
on DraftKings. Okay, you weren't heated. You were motivated. Can I say that?
Not really. It's just funny. It's just I put in a team I would have played anyways, and it won. It just happened. I don't know.
Hold on. Did you qualify to that tournament through using overlaying $2 games though?
No, that was a 27 satellite. So
well,
I moved up in stakes. Yeah.
Nah, that's no fun.
That's still killing industry. I won't do that anymore.
Okay, I'm gonna say that you were motivated.
Yeah, it's a better story.
Okay.
Because it's a better story. Just like I feel like yesterday we motivated Tommy G to win a second FanDuel seat.
Tommy G saw my DFS Elite draft against you. Saw that I went Kratz. Saw that I went Edwin Encarnacion. Took that strategy and applied it to FanDuel. I'm taking credit for his win.
Are you? Yeah, I don't know. What's more impressive, winning the seat or taking Favre down? Honestly,
winning the
at
seat.
This point, Favre is like a really good DS player.
They're both sick. I mean, no one's beat Favre lately.
Yeah, Cards got took, man. Cards got took hard.
And Hicksville Hunk, who beat G123 last year, got took.
Mm-hmm.
So we on today's show though we're going to be having Davis draft against Nap. They both are on a heater on DFS Elite at DFS Elite, the Fantasy Elite show.
You're seriously drawing dead, dude. Like
I am.
You want to do this for $0? Trust me.
Okay.
More importantly, though, I think the series everyone's really paying attention to is Soccer Dave versus Bucket List Aura. So will you recap the matchup from last night, please, David?
Last night she did not send the invite in time. Like I got the email at 6:05, which is when Central Time, which is when lineups lock. So I don't know. She's a friend of Tommy's, and if you know Tommy G and his style, it probably took her a while to find the invite button. So after, I think...
Is that even a diss, really? Like, is that, like... Are you calling her unintelligent for not being able to find a button?
No. I'm calling her unintelligent because she's friends with Tommy. But it just kind of comes along...
Hey, Tommy has more Vegas seats than everyone currently on this webcast, so...
Well, I realized that, and that's why he's a poster child for...
Hashtag skill game?
Well, average at best, intelligent people.
Dave is sharing lineups with CSU.
Daily fantasy. What's that?
Someone said you have the exact same... Is it Matic or soccer they're talking about? You and CSU with the exact same lineup. That's pretty cool.
Pete doesn't mess with me like that, so it's probably Kitchen.
Lineup sharing thread, oh no.
Dude, lineup sharing in baseball, man, that's super cheating. Because, like, if there's one sport that's, like, the most predictable and, like, that you can just grind a profit out in cash games every night, it's definitely baseball. So we should take this super seriously.
5 threads today, guaranteed.
Yeah, I might head over to RG right now and go make a thread about this.
No, we're kidding, Nick. It's just funny. It happens like twice a year. Some people think it's on purpose.
No,
I miss Miggy Todd Best, you guys. I miss him.
The same lineups do happen sometimes. I wish on DraftKings last night I made the mistake of playing. Who was it? Instead of Don Kelly in the outfield and Mike Olt at third base, I played Don Kelly at third. And who did I play from Cleveland at 3,100? Murphy. Yeah, that guy. I definitely took a high-stakes game versus Just Too Buff, who had Adam Jones, Miggy, and Beltre. And I still almost beat him. But, yeah, it was not a good night over there on DraftKings last night. Let's talk, though, about today's slate. Davis, I kind of let you take things over. You're looking good, man, in this...
Swag for the
yeah,
draft.
that's a pretty sweet farmer's tan you got going on. I can respect that.
Kansas, man. What am I supposed to do? The most important game for tonight, though, is Colorado, Texas. Obviously, because Matt Harrison and Franklin Morales are both subpar pitchers in terms of ERA, FIP, xFIP. It's the highest Vegas over/under of the day, but there's a 20 to 30% chance of rain. There are a couple people who are at the stadium right now, beat writers or whatever, who've tweeted out pictures of it raining. Now, from what I understand, it looks like the forecast is the rain is gonna stop right before first pitch, and that there's just gonna be a slight delay. But like I've mentioned on the show before, I play most of my volume on FanDuel, and if I go 4 Rockies, 4 Rangers, and that game doesn't happen, Iwakuma is not going to win me money all on his own. So what is your general advice to the viewers out there on non-late swap sites about what to do with Colorado, Texas, Tuttle?
Well, I'm really conservative with weather in general, but I don't think this is a game you have to be particularly conservative about. The big thing is interruptions during the game. If you look at a forecast and you see that there's possibly going to be interruptions during the game, then that's a good sign to stay away from the starting pitchers from that game. If a game's going to be delayed, like it looks like this one's probably going to be delayed, but then they're not going to have any problem getting it in tonight, everyone's in play. So I don't have any concern about this game looking at the forecast. Like you said, I think it might start on a delay, but who cares? That doesn't really matter.
Okay,
Same.
Knapp, are you heavily targeting this game too?
I mean, not heavily, but for the price on some guys, I am. Like, I'm pretty much until like Stubbs is on one of the stupidest heaters for a guy that strikes out like most in the league usually. In the 5-hole against the lefty, I mean, I can't see fading him. DraftKings 3,200. There's just so many guys. Brandon Barnes, Rugned Oder. Is that how you say it?
Yeah,
Mr.
I'm
Oder?
gonna make both you say his name, and then I'm not gonna say it. So Tuttle,
He's not available. I don't think anywhere today. So Beltre and Choice and Rios. I'm looking at. Yeah.
I really wanted Aaron Sibia to be in the lineup, and he is not. So that's pretty frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to.
Actually, the person I wanted Michael McHenry to be in the lineup for Colorado because he can hit a little bit, and he is at the bare minimum on FanDuel, and he's in my lineup right now, and Jordan Pacheco is starting instead of him, so that's like a little frustrating.
And as McHenry, or as Ben will note, McHenry has a little sister arm, as he calls it,
Yep.
and he allows.
That's why you want McHenry in the lineup, especially if there's a right-handed pitcher on the mound. Is because if McHenry's in the lineup, he cannot throw anybody out.
Yeah, we actually went to college with him. Ben and I did. And also, fun fact about Ben Pritchett, a.k.a. Natural Slugger, one of the writers, his nickname when he played baseball in high school was One Hop, because he was the catcher, and he always had to one-hop it to second base. So if you ever want to get him riled up, just call him old One Hop. Anyways, back to the day's events.
If I was Ben, I would not be friends with you. Like, you are just terrible to him on this show when he's not here.
No, Ben is. Oh my gosh, he could.
Ben's a goofy goober, dude. There's no way around it.
He gets so riled. Dave has to hold me back in chat. We have our little business Skype chat, and my gosh, Ben and I go at it pretty much every other day. But it's because I say like the most innocent things that any normal person would just brush off. But nope, not Ben.
Yep. All right.
We're doing this draft. I don't see it in the lobby, Dave.
Let's just go find a head-to-head nap.
And let's start talking about baseball.
Then it's got to be like every minute and a half. You want to do it rushed or wait?
Oh, I don't care. Let's start talking about pitchers, though.
Yeah.
So if any of you out there in the chat right now who are listening to the show follow myself, Derek Carty, Michael Leone, and Drew Dinkmeyer on Twitter, you were treated to a super wonderful discussion about David Price this morning, in which Drew Dinkmeyer and Michael Leone and Derek Carty fought about their models again. Now, as someone who is involved in this thread but didn't really have anything to say, and I was at Starbucks getting coffee anyways, not really caring, this is my take on the situation for David Price. Essentially, the argument for using him tonight, part of it is that he has an excellent home ERA, over 500 innings, which is a substantial sample, which Leone and Drew were saying. And what Carty was saying is that, yes, but there are also loads of innings that he's thrown away from home, and those innings still generally matter for predictable performance. before I give my opinion on it, I'm going to make both of you talk about it, so hopefully we can make somebody angry. Tuttle, where are you at on Price tonight, as well as the home ERA argument?
I like Price tonight. I think he's got a pretty solid matchup. We've been picking on the Orioles lineup because it just looks like crap, but they've actually it hasn't been too bad. But the big thing, I thought the argument was funny because basically it was arguing semantics. Essentially, both people were arguing the same thing, and that is that Price is a good play tonight, and he's always a good play when he's in a pitcher's park. So Tropicana's a pitcher's park. Price,
but neither one of them made the pitcher's park argument. It was just about Trop specifically.
Exactly. They were just they were arguing semantics like little nerds, and basically they were arguing the exact same thing, and that is a pitcher's park. A pitcher's going to be better in a pitcher's park. That's obvious. That it could have stopped there, and that's basically all they were saying.
Did you see the video that Steve posted?
Lightning bolt.
It was the what's it called? The live action role play, the LARPing. It was these people that were doing the live action role play, and this one guy was going lightning bolt, lightning bolt.
I'll post it in chat. I'll find it on YouTube.
Anyway,
no, I mean, I think that we can all just agree, though, that when Cardi and Dink and Leone get into it about their models, it's adorable, though. Like, I think we can all agree on that, like, as a consensus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. As far as actually cash games, though, with Wieters back in the lineup, I definitely think I'm just going with Iwakuma instead. I think that look, guys, I know Kansas City doesn't strike out that much, but they're just so bad. They are just pathetic. Like, the bottom half of that lineup, just automatic outs. Like, from Moose on down, it's really bad. Why would you go Price over Iwakuma, Tuttle?
Because of upside would be it. I mean, like you said, Kansas City doesn't strike out much. Iwakuma's a really efficient pitcher in general. I talked to Ben about this a little bit. He's an efficient pitcher in general, and he can record strikeouts, but Kansas City doesn't strike out. So I think, Iwakuma's a decent play. He's not someone that's really on my radar tonight, but I think my order would be Price, Kennedy, kind of towards the top, depending on how you want to work your bats in. And then I think Iwakuma would be the next down as far as safety. And then if you really wanted to get wild, you would go R.A. Dickey. But I'm not sold on Iwakuma just because he doesn't have a whole lot of potential. He's a fairly safe option though.
Yeah. Okay. So are you going Kennedy then? Is that where you're going?
I'm stuck right now. It's either going to be Kennedy or Price. Well, more than likely it's going to be one of those two. And it's kind of just how, once I get off the show and I start constructing a lineup, it'll be basically, if I like more expensive bats, then I'm going to be going Kennedy. If I think I can put a decent roster together with some cheaper bats, then I'll be going Price.
Yeah, I think I'm going Iwakuma, but there's definitely an argument for Kennedy. Nap, I just challenged you that game. I don't know if you saw it. What are your thoughts on
your pick?
Okay, cool. What are your thoughts on Price and Iwakuma tonight? If you were playing cash games, what was the one you would lean towards?
I would lean Kennedy.
You would lean Kennedy?
I'd go Iwakuma. Price, great. All his stats and splits might support him tonight. I'm just looking at Baltimore. Jones, maybe if Jones was in one of his disgusting slumps, he came out of it huge last night. There's one lefty in that lineup tonight. And everyone there can just destroy his night. Like, I forgot who I said the other night. There's just, one, I think a couple dongs just killed this one pitcher's night last time I was on. It's just, I don't want to face a lineup where, 2 through, I'll take out Caleb Joseph, 2 through 8 can just crush you. And then you just have to get through so many, professional hitters, righties, not the best pitcher's park. It's just for the price. I want a guy against Kansas City, against Miami, that just can just have huge games and who have shown big games against that team. Like Iwakuma's last start against Kansas City, I think he went 8 innings, 9 Ks, 4 hits. Like, there's a track record there. It's not the best sample size, but
I'm definitely going Iwakuma over Price.
Okay, Price is. I think he'll be. It's a good tournament play. I think for the price, Iwakuma and Kennedy will be slightly higher owned, just because it's hard to. There's a lot of big bats you kind of want tonight. I don't know. It's a tough spot, but I'm just not really for cash game. It's scary.
Well, and you and I talked about this the last time you were on the show. It was the night that Felix and Darvish were pitching against each other. Felix and Darvish were both pitching, and Darvish was against the A's, and they just loaded their lineup with opposite hand hitters where they had the platoon advantage. That totally matters. Like, taking guys who have like a 280 weighted on base average versus your handedness, that's like a huge advantage because it's just so hard for those guys to get on base. But when, 1 through 8, a lineup has a platoon advantage, that makes it so much more difficult for the starting pitcher, I think. So I'm definitely not on Price.
I know this pitcher's park thing, like, when you have guys in a lineup like Cruz and Jones who can hit the ball 500 feet, I don't care what park it is. Like, it's just so scary to get through those guys 3 and 4 times in a night. And there's probably going to be guys on base. One swing can put 3 to 4 runs on the board. It's just disgusting. I don't want to have to trust that all night.
I do think we got to bring something up with Iwakuma. I don't think there's going to be a pitch limit or a strict pitch limit at least, but that is something you have to take into consideration. It's a second start back. He pitched 81 pitches last game against the Astros, but he was more so pulled just due to lack of effectiveness. But that is something to take into consideration. I can't find anything out there. I think he'll be good for around 100 pitches, but I don't think you're going to see anything above that by any means.
Yeah, I mean, also, just worth noting, I watch a lot of Royals games. He could have a couple, 4 or 5 pitch innings without recording a strikeout.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Moose ground out, Escobar ground out, Justin Maxwell ground out. Like, they could just go one right after another. Those guys hate to get on base. And the Royals...
They don't homer.
And they don't walk either. They are bottom 5 in the league every year in walks. And Cardi has talked about this on the show a bunch. More than anything else, walks are what increase pitch count. And Iwakuma doesn't walk anybody anyways. So I just think he's definitely not the upside option tonight. Price is the upside option tonight as far as Ks go. But I think if you're just looking to lock someone in for in between 12, 15 FanDuel points, I think Iwakuma's your guy.
Yeah.
All right. GPP options. Throw them out, Nap. Who are the guys you're looking to target in big tournaments?
I mean, he's had a horrible start to the year, but anyone facing the Padres in Petco has potential. He's 4,600. Jacob Turner, I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I know. Everything is against what who he is. Just if you're throwing a couple teams in a cheap tournament, he could definitely go 6 innings. Maybe 1 or 2 runs and 5 Ks and a win. Going against one of the most popular pitchers, that's kind of what you want in a tournament play. And then other guy, Jake Arrieta, the weather's not going to be too great there. A lot of wind blowing in. I don't think lefties aren't even hitting that well on him this year. I think they're under 200 this year. So yeah, righty. So Abreu's kind of the one super scared guy in that lineup right now. Dunn's back, but I mean, he's always a couple Ks potentially. So yeah, Arrieta and Turner. Yeah, disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, you can even look at a scenario with Dunn where he provides you the 4 strikeouts that you need for the baseline start, and then anything else that happens is a bonus. So I don't mind. And Arrieta throws hard too, so I'm on board.
So at 88 degrees, I mean, yeah, it's going to be it's not raining yet, but I don't think, but pretty sure the wind's going in right to left. It's not ideal, and I don't know. It's a tournament play.
Yeah. All right. Tuttle, GPP pitching options.
My top GPP option would be R.A. Dickey.
Yeah,
I
can see that.
I mean, it's tough to predict him and any knuckleballer in general, but basically if you are lucky enough to get him on a night where the knuckler's on, you're going to have a good night. So there's not much more to it than that, than you just hoping that he's effective tonight. And with knucklers, you don't really have to worry about a pitch count either, because they're not not destroying their arm. So basically, if he's pitching really well, he's going to go the whole game. So I think he's got pretty high upside against the Phillies offense, who really hasn't done much lately, other than the Ash Grand Slam. So he'd be my guy, my top GPP option. We had someone in chat mention Carroll's really cheap.
He sucks, though.
Yeah, there's just no upside there. I mean, he's really, really cheap, and you can stack bats, but I just don't think there's the upside there that even makes him worth a play.
Yeah, like there's not even the plausible Robbie Ray upside, because I don't even think he's more than, like a 110 favorite. I guess I haven't looked at lines since this morning.
I mean, Bonifacio's out, so it's not like guys are going to be running all over the bases on him, so it's I think it's potentially there.
The principle is still the same, though. I mean, right? You get a 3K guy, and then you fill in with all the heavy bats. I mean, Davis, you were clamoring for this with Robbie Ray.
No, I wasn't.
Well, yeah, you were. You said
no. I was wrong. I said that it was. I didn't think it was smart at all, and then he ended up going out and getting 13.3 FanDuel points and making me look dumb.
Well, no, people were being all 2020 analysts, or hindsight analysts, where he goes or he has a good game and they're touting him after the fact. I mean, it wasn't a bad play. You always have to be risky of those 3K guys. Robbie Ray had a little more upside because of the K potential, but if you want to look at peripherals, I mean, you're looking at, let's see right now, for Carroll, he's had a good first couple of games. He's got a 0.68 ERA. His xFIP is 5.11.
Yeah, he K's like 4 per 9.
Yeah, his steamer projections is 2.21 K per 9. So he just doesn't have the upside.
Yeah. All right. That's good. We'll mention Laffy's relief pitcher of the day. It's Houston Street versus Miami. I think that's a pretty solid option if you're trying to do just the 2 starting pitcher route on Draft Street. But let's talk about.
I like Rodney too. Combining it with Iwakuma.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Zubaldo just totally off the board for you guys. Like, he had a good game last game. The upside's there, but man,
Tampa just makes you hurt yourself. They're so patient, and he just has no control. If he doesn't have it, dude, he's going to be out in 3 innings.
I mean, like Bud Norris yesterday. Man, what he have? He had at least 14 FanDuel points.
Yeah.
If he can do it, Ubaldo can. But yeah, it's a tournament play.
It's a $2 moonshot play.
Yeah,
well, I mean that is Nap's territory. I hope you win the moonshot.
I haven't played it in a week. No one's noticed, but I really haven't played it in a week. Just out of I don't want to deal with it anymore.
Nap, that's bullshit, dude. Don't let them change you. You've been playing the moonshot for years, man.
I've literally played it every day since it opened, and then one day decided it was a problem.
No, you need to be pumping in I don't even know the max amount of entries you can play in the moonshot.
50 lineups, I think.
Yeah, you need to be playing.
I've never even gotten close to that.
No, you need to be because you have to win it this season. You realize you have to win the moonshot once this
just
season.
Out of spite, he's gonna put 50 lineups in every day.
So if I was you, but I mean I'm definitely more confrontational than you. But I would definitely be playing 50 lineups in it every single day with every possible combination, all the stacks.
Oh.
Because F the man.
F the man. That's right.
All right. More importantly, though, let's talk about some hitters. Because on nights like these where everyone's sort of split, like we just saw from that conversation, basically it's Price, Iwakuma, Kennedy as far as cash games goes. So you have to hit on your hitters pretty much because when there's less separation in terms of what your starting pitcher is able to do, it puts more reliance on your hitters. So before we get into it, let's talk about stacks. You guys tell me something I don't know. Outside of Rockies Rangers, Nap, who are you looking at?
I mean, anytime the Blue Jays are at home, I'm always looking at them. The way they're swinging right now is kind of sick. Yeah, Blue Jays definitely are kind of like the. I even like them over the Rangers, honestly. Rangers they just suck right now. It's weird.
They do suck.
This is a good spot to break out for them, but man, I'd rather have Blue Jays, in a dome against, Burnett's okay, but I mean, he's got to get. There's a lot of guys who can dong in that lineup right now. Lynn's back. I can't believe Juan Francisco is still 2,200 and Lind is 28 on FanDuel. It's amazing.
Yeah. Also, why are they playing Lind like when he doesn't have the this doesn't count tonight, but they've been playing Francisco against lefties, which seems weird.
It's because Lowry's hurt.
They don't have. Yeah.
Oh,
they don't
that's
have,
right. Yeah.
They need to.
Okay.
But Rasmus under Lynn tonight. I tweeted it earlier. It's amazing. It's not even like a lefty righty move. It's just I don't get how Rasmus is so low the way he's swinging.
Yeah, it's tilting. He should be. I mean, it's tough with the lineup, but earlier in the year when they were throwing Navarro in there above him too was just ridiculous.
I mean, let me look at lineup. I mean,
Tuttle's favorite player, Chris Getz, is in the lineup tonight.
He's not my favorite player. I recommended him the one night,
player.
and you shut him down, and he was awesome.
And he had like 2 stolen bases.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why you don't mess with Chris Getz. But yeah, I like the Blue Jays tonight. I think I'm not as afraid of the weather. I think the weather might actually end up being favorable in Chicago, and so I think you could look at some guys there. As someone mentioned in chat, you do have some humid, warm weather, which can help the ball carry at times, depending on which way that wind swings. As we know, the wind can change directions in a matter of seconds, so we don't know really. I mean, it's blowing in, but it's blowing in, but you haven't seen the over/under change at all, which is really what I use to analyze if a wind's going to affect the game or not. You haven't seen that over/under really change throughout the day. It's been around nine runs the whole night or whole day. So I think you could see some runs there in the Chicago, either side of the Chicago game.
I'm stacking all the Rockies. I've been doing it for the last week and a half, and it's yet to. Now my other picks outside of my 4 Rockies haven't hit, but the Rocky stack has just been great for like the last week and a half. So I'm sticking to that, and that's my analysis, which is why I made you guys talk about another team. So now let's get into the actual positions. Starting with catcher. Catcher is so gross tonight. So it's sort of a matter of like who you're wanting to punt with. Nap shrugs because he never thinks a position is gross because he loves every player ever.
It's not gross. Dude, Wieters is gonna double dong.
Oh, he's gonna double dong?
Yep.
Even though he might have like a torn UCL.
Dude, he's back. He's pumped. He's motivated.
Yes, he's back, but he also is like definitively hurt. Like that. This is a thing.
He's DHing. He's not gonna be crouching down all night.
I am gonna if he
Even though it's
benefits
an elbow
someone.
thing.
Yeah, it's an elbow thing. So I'm not taking him until he like has like a huge game showing that he's like still healthy.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, but then again, like it's good that we talk about stuff like this because you're mostly a tournament player and I basically play cash games every single night. So of course we're gonna approach this stuff.
Do cash games. I just still it's not.
You have more balls than me, dude.
It's not ultimate fade. Anytime he's against the lefty, I don't care if it's Price. He's in play.
Do either one of you have love for Caleb Joseph with the platoon advantage versus Price? He should be like pretty min almost everywhere.
Nah.
I mean,
nah.
No.
As James Maddox would say, nah.
He's not available on DD. Is he on FanDuel?
Yeah, but he's like that weird FanDuel pricing where new players are $3,000.
Oh, yeah. There's some. I was looking at Connor Gillespie. He's back from the DL in the 2-hole, and he's like 3,900.
Yep. Total catchers that you enjoy.
I don't enjoy any of them tonight.
That's what I'm saying. It's gross tonight.
It
I
is.
might play
Chirinos.
Chirinos.
Upside.
I say if you've got 2 or 3 Colorado Rockies in your lineup, just go Pacheco. Try to build off.
He's third base on FanDuel though.
No, he's eligible now.
He is okay.
Yeah, he made that switch. He's 2,400 catcher eligible. So I'd say if you're going the Rockies route, I don't.
2,400. That's not bad.
Yeah, and then Castillo's an option. He's batting 6 against Carroll, who we really don't know a whole lot about other than we think he's overperforming, or his peripherals would indicate he's overperforming at this point. So I think he's an option that could give you some power.
Yep. I think I'm on board with that sentiment for sure. I think I am just going to go Pacheco just because I want as much exposure to that game as possible, and I don't want to play Chirinos, because I think Pacheco is a little bit better of a hitter. I think that's good. Catcher is just sort of like how I sort of approach the catcher position is if I want more exposure to a team or to a game, I just sort of go with the catcher from the team that I want. Because a lot of the times they're cheap.
Dude, I forgot. Zunino has to play tonight.
Zunino.
Definitely. I totally forgot about him. Yeah. When he's versus a lefty, he has sick power. Like, for his price, I'm pretty sure what's he on FanDuel?
26.
Yeah, I would just go him and cash game, actually. No injury to worry. At home versus a hard-throwing lefty, he can have a big night.
Yeah, he was Ben ranked him number 1. And Grandal, who Roto Hobo mentioned in chat, was Ben's number 2.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention this, but Duffy's like not going to make it out of the 5th inning. He's on a super strict pitch count because he's coming out of the pen, so they should be able to get into the Royals bullpen pretty quick. Like, I don't know what that's worth. The Royals bullpen's actually pretty good, so I wouldn't say that's like an advantage. But yeah, do they pinch hit for Zunino ever?
Like, no, because Buck's their backup.
I got Buck. Yeah.
Who's already? So they don't platoon him at all.
Okay, cool. Let's move on to second base then. Best D. Gordon. D. Gordon is awesome because all he has to do to make your night is get on base one time. Because then he's stealing second and he's probably going to score a run. I don't know. I forgot who is there. He's playing against. Jake Arrieta. I guess there's not a Dodgers lineup. There's not a Dodgers lineup. Oh, no. Vogelsong. I don't know why I just said Arrieta. It's because I searched Gordon and it was Gordon Beckham. Yeah, I'm all over. I am all over D. Gordon versus Ryan Vogelsong. We might get D. Gordon Dong.
I can dig that.
That could happen.
D. Gordon Dong?
D. Gordon Dong could happen.
You're not getting a D. Gordon Dong, but you might get the equivalence point-wise of what get on base, steal 2 bases, and get a run. That's your better shot at 6 points.
Yeah,
on FanDuel.
Guys, you really might though. Like that could really happen. Vogelsong is so bad. You are a Giants fan, Nap. You can't tell me that it's out of the realm of possibility. This is a ridiculous argument. Yeah. Who are some other second base?
Anyone can dong, Davis.
Yeah, I know.
Anyone can dong.
Second base?
I just looked though. His ground ball rate. I didn't even know this because he's had a couple of decent starts here. His ground ball rate is just ridiculous. He's got a 29.5% ground ball rate, which for those of you that don't know, league average is about 44%. So that's absolutely ridiculous, and it's not like he's striking out a ton of guys either to counteract that.
I would say there is a little bit of risk because he is an extreme fly ball pitcher, and if he's able to get Gordon into that scenario, he could very much have 4 infield like pop flies. So there's a little bit but he's not going to be in the game that long, I don't think. Like he's just so bad.
I like all hitters in that game. I don't even care about the line or Beckett or. I'm so down with that game tonight.
Yeah. Are some other second base options though? Because D. Gordon's pretty expensive. So who are some other guys that you're looking at, Tuttle?
Chase Utley is actually really cheap on FanDuel for being Chase Utley.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, obviously he's in a bit of a slump, but if you're looking for potential pop, I think he's a really good second base option. He's $3,500 on FanDuel. Other than that, if you want to keep stacking the Colorado game, you could really go punt and go LeMahieu. No problem with that.
Does he ever do anything though? Like I feel like every time we talk about Colorado,
he tripled last night. He almost donged.
Yeah, pinch hit triple, right?
Ooh, pinch hit triple.
Yeah.
No, it's just like I always really hate taking guys who with like no upside, and what I mean by that is if you're a bad hitter or like not a great hitter, you need to be like leading off or in the 2-hole.
I was wrong. It wasn't a pinch hit triple. He was 3 for 3 last night.
Started, yeah.
Okay, all right. No, I will. I mean, he's got to have a pretty bad weighted on base average for his career, though.
Oh, I mean, I'm not saying he's any good. It's more if you're constructing your lineup with Rockies in it, And especially if you have Pacheco in there and you're wanting to save money, pair him with LeMahieu and see what happens.
Would you? Okay, so say you have you get Stubbs in there, you get Barnes in there, and you pay for another Rocky. I don't even know who it would be. Say you want Cargo in there, even though he doesn't have the platoon advantage.
Arenado's on fire.
Yeah, Arenado. So would you go Pacheco or LeMahieu for like that last Colorado spot?
I'd go Pacheco just because of lack of relative options at the catching position.
Yeah, I agree with that. What about you, Nap?
I'd go LeMahieu just because he can do more. He steals bases. For 2,200 on FanDuel, like man, catchers. I'd rather have Zunino at 24 than Pacheco, honestly.
Yeah, I have Zunino in there right now. Weighted on base average for DJ LeMahieu
26. Yeah, he's on 200 more. I know.
Is exactly 300. So he's not great, but he can do stuff. Right. Shortstops. Either one of you paying up for too low in cash games? He has the platoon advantage tonight.
I can't.
You
Go ahead,
can't.
Nap.
I can't. Yeah, you explain that, Nap. I don't think I can.
It's just I need to. I mean, I'm still looking at lineups, but it just depends what else you can fit. Like 6K on DK is just, you kind of have to go Stefan Romero for 2,400, which is a great play, I think. It's possible to fit him. It's just for a cash game, man. I'm looking at. I really like Hanley tonight. I don't know why. It's just a feeling. Like Tulo's. I mean, he's 6,400 now. Gee, he keeps going up. Like.
Dude, he is 59 on FanDuel.
Exactly.
Yeah, so like last night he got 2.25 FanDuel points.
Yeah,
which is that doesn't even come close to meeting the salary.
You need a crap load to even like be worth it.
You need him to double dong.
And it's possible, but still, it's like with other people, other people are gonna just overexpose themselves. And just keep hoping that that don't not recognize it was mostly a Coors factor. Yeah, he's still on fire, but I think there's other plays for cheap. I like Brandon Crawford, super cheap.
I like Jose Reyes.
Jose Reyes, definitely. There's just a lot. D. Gordon's eligible on draft and draft day. There's just a lot for like half the price that can have just as many points.
I would way prefer D. Gordon on sites where he's eligible. I just think. I mean, and we've talked about this on the show before. I just like guys who can make your night without... Like, it's a lot harder to hit a home run than it is to get on base. And then once D. Gordon gets on base, he's going to start getting you points.
I will say that Nap took Tulo first in the Elite draft, so...
Yeah,
it's a different format.
Yeah.
I took David Price in that format.
Tulo was 12K. Price was...
He's cheaper than,
20K.
Yeah, so we both just took guys that we aren't liking for our real lineup. Elite forces you to make some choices.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why there's so much skill. Speaking of Elite, this is the Fantasy Elite show. We need to move it on, though, because we've got tons of stuff to do. So we haven't even hit the hot corners
All right.
or the outfield.
First base, go, Nat.
Gotta open it. Sorry. On Elite, it's Adrian Gonzalez. He's 5K. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Let me see. Man. I think Encarnacion, kind of the guy I'm looking at everywhere.
Even without the platoon split?
I mean, I'm not a big... I'm not really looking at that. I'm more on who's seeing the ball well, who's in a great hitter's park. For the price with the upside, it's just, man, he's killing it right now, and he's only 44 on DK. There's not much under him. I would even look at Belt. Where's Belt at? It's between Belt and Encar for me.
Belt's in a really good spot.
Yeah, he's back on. I mean, dong the other day. It's just first base. I don't really want to gamble. I want the guys that are hot, basically.
I have an interesting name that I just sort of came across with the platoon split against against Anthony Rizzo against Scott Carroll. Now Rizzo's problem is strikeouts, and Carroll doesn't strike anybody out. So if you have a pitcher who lives on the middle of the plate versus Anthony Rizzo with the platoon advantage with 88-degree weather, I have to think Rizzo like that. I think he might be my under the radar dong pick tonight.
Okay.
Are you on board with that total? It seems like you are.
Yeah, the only thing is I think you're going to want right-handed bats out of that game as opposed to left-handed. I think you actually
Just
want...
because of the wind.
Because of the wind, yeah. I mean, if it's going to change, it's going to start blowing out. I mean, right now, what we got blowing right to left, so that's going to help the right-handed bats. I mean, Rizzo could Apodong for sure, but I think if we're considering the wind, I think that would hurt Rizzo. Going back to E5, though, Burnett's actually a pretty neutral splits guy, so I don't think the platoon really matters much there. But if you wanted to stay in that game, as we know, Juan Francisco is always an option, especially on FanDuel.
Yeah. Definitely.
Where he's 2,200.
He's first base and third base eligible, I think, on DD and DK.
Yep, he is.
So that's a great play. You can fit both of them.
All right. Well, that's a nice little segue. Let's talk about third base. Are we just going back to the well with Beltre and Arenado again? I think it's hard to go away from those two guys right now. They're both. Beltre has donged 2 games in a row. Arenado just tied the Rockies franchise record for a hitting streak. I don't necessarily believe in hot streaks, but there's no doubt that these guys are playing to their true skill level. They're like Beltre. Arenado might be a little bit above his head, but this is the hitter Beltre's been for his entire career.
Yeah, I don't think you're going anywhere else. I think you pick a third baseman from that game and just stick with it. I don't think there's not a whole lot of reason to talk about any other third baseman, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think you just let Price decide which one you're taking, depending on the site.
Yeah, if you're not going Juan Francisco on where he's eligible, I don't see how you don't go Arenado. Like Mike Holt is always he's 5K on draft day. He's always in play. I don't care who he's against. He just has that power. Yeah,
and Carroll is not more of a pitcher.
He's a tournament play.
Yeah.
For 5K on draft day, though, that's a pretty good.
I know, but Juan Francisco's 8,500. Like that's where I'm at, and Beltre's not even that much more.
Yeah.
Okay, it's time for Nap's competition, though.
Oh, sweet.
That's where we're at. Let's do it.
You got the music. All right, tonight's Kung Fu contest game match challenge. I'm running out of ideas, so this is kind of like I don't think I've done this before, but I might need some help on the next one. But here we go. Here's tonight's. Pick a player who's going to have at least 2 strikeouts and a home run. So they can have 4 strikeouts and a 13th inning dong. So yeah, minimum 2 strikeouts and a dong. RBIs will be the tiebreaker if someone has.
How can they get this information to you, Nap?
They can they can tweet me at Napsterman with 2 A's on both words, and then just include the hashtag InsidersTV. So that's more to help people see if their guess has been taken. So if you're kind of late to it and you think, oh crap, this guy's pretty obvious, just search hashtag InsidersTV and you can see all the guesses. It's because if someone takes that and they qualify and win, you're not, it's happened a lot. You're not going to win. So make sure you get a unique guess in. You can guess as many times as you want until you get your unique guess in. That's it. You get a t-shirt.
Swag. Who's your guest, Tuttle?
I wasn't paying attention. I don't even know what the line is.
You're the
Strikeouts and a dong.
2 strikeouts and a dong?
Yep.
Jose Abreu.
It's the Adam Dunn line. I'll call it that.
Yep. No, I guessed Anthony Rizzo.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be Adam Jones.
Okay. That's a very good one.
So Dave
I'll
is
say
David Price tonight.
What's that?
You're not taking David Price tonight.
You know what? I have mad love for my Vandy boys, but with David Price against the Orioles, I don't know. I just don't. I don't trust him. But like Mike Minor last night, David Price, Sonny Gray, all 3 of those guys are Vandy guys, and I feel like sometimes I don't want to take them because I don't want to be mad at them. So that's kind of
I ain't mad at you.
Yeah, I don't want to be mad at those guys tonight. So Ed Kennedy is probably going to be this. I'm going to be rolling with Ben. Ben and his Kennedy love tonight.
I'm going Iwakuma because I love to root against my own team. Because like when they lose, it just like takes the sting away a little bit.
Yeah, it's a good hedge.
It's what my buddy calls the happiness hedge.
Yeah, it's that. Yeah, it's like every week 17 game that the Cowboys are destined to lose, I bet the money line against them. So when they lose, I'm like, well, at least I made easy money. It's worked
Exactly.
3 years. It's worked 3 years in a row. So
So Baltimore obviously is I don't know if it's a contrarian stack or not. I think it would be a contrarian stack tonight, but I'd be interested in hearing other stacks that you guys kind of think might work. You look at what Tommy did last night, and some people are saying, I can't believe what an idiot he is stacking against Cliff Lee. And
his whip is so high, though.
What's that?
Cliff Lee's whip is so high that if he has a game with bad batting average on balls in play luck, he's going to get shelled.
Yeah,
because
but
he lives in the strike zone.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, he doesn't whip it good. But my point is that sometimes you have to play a little bit contrarian with your mini stacks or stacks whenever you're. I mean, Tommy's the only guy really in that FanDuel qualifier that went up against Cliff Lee. Now his reasoning was that he saw the line, and it was only a 120 line, and he said if Vegas was only giving him a 120 line, really they thought it was going to be like he was going to get shelled, or else it would have been like closer to a 200 line. So that was Tommy's kind of reasoning for it. I think it was the over under of 8. So he said, why not? So that is why he went there. I mean, there's always kind of those reasons, but the bottom line is sometimes to win these big tournaments, you have to play contrarian, and not everything makes sense. I mean, even DP's lineup the other night, I think it was DP, maybe it was somebody else. It was super ugly. Like, you took a look at it and like, that's gross. But it won. So sometimes you have to be ugly to win. Am I right, Davis?
Yep.
Anyways, stacks. Who do you like?
We did stacks.
We did stacks already.
Yeah.
Contrarian stacks?
I would like to say the Cubs are a super contrarian stack, just because everyone thinks the Cubs suck, but they have a ton of hitters right now with the platoon advantage, and I just think Carroll's a really bad pitcher. So.
Okay. And I mean, I was just wanting contrarian stacks for tonight. Go ahead.
I think Baltimore is it.
Yeah.
Because they give you the home run potential against the guy that has struggled with the home run ball so far this year.
Yep. All right.
10 runs tonight right here. 10 runs tonight.
Yep. We're talking about outfielders, though, because I continue to believe that nailing all 3 of your outfield picks is super important because there's such a deep pool to pick from. Own percentages by nature are lower there. So I think it's really important to nail those. Like last night, nailing the Colorado outfield the correct way could have carried you a very long ways to cashing in cash games and tournaments. So with that in mind, who are you guys looking at tonight? First of all, would you trust Blackman in cash games even though he doesn't have the platoon advantage with Harrison tonight? Because Blackman, he, for whatever this is worth, he is second on the ESPN Fantasy Baseball Player Rater for this year so far. Like, he has just been unfreaking believable. So I don't think I'm using him in cash games tonight just because his price has gone so high. I don't necessarily believe that it's a percentage play. I definitely want him in tournaments. But who are some of the outfielders you guys are looking at for cash games total?
I like some of the Rangers. I think it's a toss-up for me between Choice and Rios. So since it's a toss-up, but it's basically whoever I can fit, kind of build your roster, and then depending on how much money you have left, go either Rios or Choice. I think those guys are in play. Knapp and you have mentioned Dodger hitters against Vogelsong, so I don't have any, depending on what we get from that Dodgers lineup. Crawford's a pretty decent play at a cheap price across the industry. Basically any Dodger. I don't care if they have the platoon advantage or not against Vogelsong. I think they'll have a good chance at getting on base no matter what. So those are my main focuses. I don't mind looking at that Toronto game, but Batista's expensive, and then some of the other guys are just lower in the order. Rasmus is killing the ball, but he's in that 7th hole. You'd like to see him move up a little bit.
I'm definitely playing the late night slate tonight because I want some exposure to those Dodgers. But it just works out that I think the Colorado guys are better. I just think in general the Colorado players are a better bet. They're safer. Because obviously Vogelsong is going to give up 2 or 3 home runs, but I couldn't tell you who exactly they're going to go to. But the Colorado offense is strong. Who are you looking at, Nap?
For outfield, cash game. Let's see. Sorry, I think Romero on DraftKings is one of the must plays of the night.
Oh my gosh, this show's love with Romero is never
No,
ending.
but he's legit.
I've literally
cheap.
never loved him until. I mean,
Well, welcome to the.
welcome to the Love Fest.
Yeah, I love him. Tuttle loves him.
I loved him when he was $1,800 on DraftKings for their first major tournament.
He donged the other night, and I had him, and I was so happy.
Yeah, I had him too. It should be noted that some people do not love him. Drew Dinkmeyer does not love him. That's why he calls him Steven Romero.
Did he regress all his home runs out? Is that what happened?
No, or
is that what happens in Dink's
Davis,
model?
was it you that called him Steven Romero? Or was it Laufey?
I don't
forget.
know who it was.
I don't remember.
He'll tell us.
If Dink doesn't like him, it's because Romero home runs are regressed out in his model, like Cologne home runs are regressed out in Cardi's.
Oh, yeah.
Or he's always projected against Travis Wood.
Model Wars is a real thing. I do find it interesting. I'm gonna pull up this elite draft that Davis, you talk about having a nail outfielders. Does that apply? I mean, you've been red hot on Fantasy Elite. Does that apply to your elite strategy? Because Knapp took all of the lovable outfielders. He went with Cargo, Cruz, Jones, and Rios.
Yeah, but I have Stubbs, Blackman, and Choice, and I much prefer having that trio over his.
Really?
I'll side bet that. Can we side bet
that? Dude, it's Charlie. No, we're not side betting that, but it's Charlie Mother effing Blackman, dude. He can't be stopped.
I will say with the Rockies getting all the love and stealing the Thunder recently, I like the Rangers side of this game better. I like the Rangers for cash games, for everything. I like the Rangers side better.
Is this the second or third game?
Oh, this is what?
But this is the 5th game in a row they've played.
Yeah, 5th in a row. Second in Texas.
Yeah, okay.
And the Rangers and the Rockies have outperformed them in every single one.
Every single game. Like, to like a ridiculous extent. Like, I bet their run differential in this series is like plus 20. Seriously. And that doesn't mean Beltre's been good. They've had some decent options, like Chu's stolen some bases. But I think I don't know. It's just super recency bias. That's why everyone's on the Rockies, because everyone who's been taking the Rockies has been rewarded. So yeah, I don't think you're wrong, Tuttle. I don't think you're wrong at all. All right, as far as other outfielders go, though, I think Colorado, Texas, you want those at bats.
29-5. It's only been 3 games so far, but Colorado's up 29-5 against the Rangers.
Yeah, my run differential estimate was low.
Yo, all right, continue on. Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's okay. I just think so. We've said Colorado, Texas, Dodgers outfielders.
Bautista's definitely
Stephen Romero.
Stephen Romero, yeah. Who else? Who else are you on now?
Jose Bautista, I think. I like he's not like I'm using him on draft day tonight. I'm about to say that right now. 12-7. Because I could fit Romero for 5K. I'm doing a little Toronto stack, and I just don't want to miss Bautista that upside with Ankar and Juan Francisco.
Yeah, I can get on board with that. I don't think he's completely changed his approach at the plate. He's 3rd in the majors in walks this year, which represents a big shift in how he's approached. So I think he's an excellent play in cash games and in tournaments because he's safe with upside to double dong on any given night because he's.
Iwakuma's under 10K on draft day.
Oh, see, and that's stealing.
It's almost
Speaking of stealing, I wish that we would have played this elite game for money because you are drawing dead.
What?
You are drawing dead, dude.
You're banking on Pacheco and like Choice and Arrieta's gonna get blown up and okay.
Hey, it's Paccio to you.
It's Pacheco, and let me tell you this, Nap. Every single night, someone has talked smack to me about Elite, and I have just beaten them down with an unholy vengeance.
Okay, that one night it was kind of luck. You left 3K on the table. And,
Sometimes you have to leave money
man.
on the table, though.
but no, yours was like you admitted at the time that you screwed up the draft. So don't even.
But I had Henderson Alvarez, though.
Yeah, don't even act like you.
Let
like,
me tell you
meant
something
to.
about daily fantasy sports, David Kitchen. The reason that we don't leave money on the table is that so that we can build in fallibility into our projections. But I'm so good at DFS Elite that I don't need to build in the possibility that my projections are wrong.
You definitely got lucky though. You can't
No,
come
I
on
got
here
lucky.
touting that night that you won by 100 points. Yeah, I mean, it'd be different like if you made fun of Dink because he definitely did choose that lineup and it did terrible. But like you even admitted screwing that lineup up and then it went off. So
I did.
you can't use that. However, you have been red hot, so I'll give you that. Going over this draft though,
I'm gonna crush him tonight.
it looks
This is
like
disgusting. This is awful.
it looks like Tuttle. I mean, not Tuttle. It looks like Knapp chose not to go with any pitchers again.
Which I have repeatedly told everyone is a mistake, and everyone's like, what?
He took
No.
Price first, and I don't want anyone else.
Yeah.
I don't even want Price.
I took Burley and Porcello last night in a $23 game
Oh,
versus
those
Leone,
are-
and that's why I beat him.
Those are great
Okay,
plays.
who
guys.
are you going to take in this slate, though?
I took Arrieta and Price. I would have
man,
taken
like-
I would have taken any pitcher other than Carroll.
Okay.
You have to spend the money, and if a pitcher's serving up a bunch of home runs, they're going to get negatives. But at the very least, even if they lose the game, they're going to get 5 or 6 points, which I just think is super important to pay for. And everyone
All
has
these guys are
disagreed
gonna
with
get
me.
10 points.
Yep, and I just have kept beating everybody. So
All right.
we'll see.
If I lose tonight, you're just on a stick of sea driver.
If I beat
You're gonna win.
if I beat you tonight, no, because now I've officially
Everyone in this
gone.
lineup's gonna dong.
No, I've officially gone hubris now, so my lineup's going to go like over 17.
Yep.
Yeah.
Reverse
All right.
smack talk hubris jinx.
That is the DFS Elite conversation for the day. If I'm playing that slate, my first pick is obviously going to be Price. Would your first pick be Price if you went first? Nap.
Nope. Too low. For
Oh.
12K, I mean, infield's not that great. It's like, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then, more importantly, the I'm going to regret this segment. The player who
Alright.
you are going to play and you're going to regret, or you're not going to play and you're going to regret fading them. Tuttle, who is the player who's going to cause you the most pain at like 10 o'clock tonight?
I haven't decided which pitcher I'm going, if it's going to be Price or Kennedy. But
Mhm.
depending on who I go, it's going to be the other pitcher that I regret not taking.
Now,
Yeah, Price is the obvious scary fade, which I am doing in most lineups tonight. Whew. I don't know. I'm trying to look who else I'm fading. Hold on.
Price
I
is
guess-
definitely mine as well, I think.
Yeah, it's just so obvious. Like Stanton, he's a scary fade tonight.
he is terrifying.
He's always scary fade, but
because
I just,
now he's hitting like opposite field dongs, which is just ridiculous.
And the
got
Marlins are
Jones
doing
off Kennedy. Yeah, it's just
the Marlins
a
are
lot.
doing halfway decent, meaning that they don't have to pitch around Stanton.
They're still really bad on the road, though. They're 2-10 on the road,
Yeah.
and their OPS is under 800 on the road.
Yeah, it makes it. I mean, it does make it easier, but I'm with them. Guarantee. Do we do guarantee?
Whoa! Do they not care about who I'm fading? Because I'm the worst DFS player out of these three. So
Okay.
you should definitely know who I'm fading.
Who's that?
I'm fading Kennedy and Price because when I don't like more than one pitcher, I only play on FanDuel. Normally I play on DraftKings and DS2. But I'm fading both of those guys tonight, which means you can count on 4 innings pitched and 3 earned runs for Iwakuma tonight. Like, that's going to be his line.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's going to be gross. He's somehow going to walk Mike Moustakas. That's my prediction for the night. Mike Moustakas is going to take a walk, and it's going to be shocking.
All right, let's. We're already running late. To wrap up the show, let's do the dong of the day.
Dong of the day. Anthony Rizzo is mine. I'm just giving one.
We get a guaranteed and a risky one, right?
Yeah, correct. But mine is the same. Rizzo is hitting one tonight.
Guaranteed is Beltray. Nap, what's your guaranteed? Well, I think of another one.
I think E5 is going to hit one.
All right, and then he's not exactly under the radar, but I'll go with him because we didn't talk about him really at all. I'm going to go Matt Kemp.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about him at all.
He's fifth in the order. Lineup just came out, batting fifth. I think he's a pretty solid option tonight.
Okay, cool. All right.
Corey Hart's my under the radar. I love Corey Hart tonight.
Awesome. I just picked up Justin Smoke in the Swag Dome, so that's great.
Nice.
Or the Swag Diamond. All right. Is that it, Kitchen? Do you have anything else we need to say?
No, I think that's it.
All right. Well, thank you to our guest from the general internet and Twitter.com, Napsterman, and and thank you to Dan Gaspar, Mr. Tuttle from Fantasy Insiders for joining us. And I'm Davis Maddock, speaking for myself and for David Kitchen. So long. Get all the dongs tonight. Make the monies.
Yep. And we ran out of time, so we'll do the "Oh no, you did not" starting next week. But it's gonna be really fun. I promise you that. Thanks, guys, for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern time, on the Insiders TV Daily Fantasy MLB show, sponsored by FantasyElite. Later.
Yep. I hope Price gets shelled.
I hope